Hey guys, so in this video, we're going to actually go through each individual way you can get leads for your agency, and I'm going to rank them and tier them on what I think is best from my own personal experience and hopefully give you some advice around it. So jumping right in, the first one that I'm going to go over is YouTube content. So obviously I'm creating content for you guys. YouTube content, the benefits of it is it's evergreen, so it's always going to be there. The leads that you get from it are super high quality, right? People have watched multiple videos from you, they have already become associated with you and your brand, etc. The drawback is it takes a long time and a lot of effort to actually start to get the snowball to roll so that you actually start to see results. Because of the quality of the lead that comes in, and because you're obviously spending time and money on equipment, but besides for that, there's really no cost. I'm probably going to put YouTube Studios in an A tier. If you have the time and you're looking further out, longer term horizon for your agency or your business, I would definitely say that this is very valuable. You're not going to get results overnight, but if you could build it up over a long period of time, you're going to have great results from it. The next one is TikTok ads. So TikTok ads for an agency, for you to actually get clients. First of all, because TikTok isn't as popular to advertisers as the older ones, Facebook, Google, the cost per impression is cheaper, and it's much easier to get something to get shared and go more viral. So you can get a lot of impressions in. TikTok is very much, even more than Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you have to have a very good hook. It's very difficult to get someone's attention and also target the right people on TikTok, just because yes, everyone uses TikTok, but it's usually a younger demographic who probably isn't your target audience. So TikTok, I'm gonna give a C. I think that the platform's come a long way, but I don't think that it's where, we should probably focus most of our efforts as agency owners. The next is Google Ads. So Google Ads is something that I've seen the best agencies that do 7 to 8 figures, they do a lot of Google and YouTube. It is very good at getting, much like, creating your own YouTube content, at getting high quality leads and appointments to then sell these people. What I would say about Google is it's very expensive. It's hard to learn and to be really good at. And it's also something that with Google, you have to have the full funnel completely dialed in. Like you have to have your hook dialed in. Maybe if you do search, you don't need your hook. If your service has like a crazy offer that you could put into search and there's high search volume, it might be beneficial. But since it's difficult to set up, you have to have a really good high converting funnel. I'm going to put Google Ads in a B, just because it's expensive and it really is something that you have to massage over a long time to actually get very good at, and you're spending money at the same time. Next, Facebook ads. Facebook ads, the benefits of Facebook versus Google is Facebook's quicker and easier to set up. In some senses the targeting is better, in some senses the targeting is worse. Almost everyone uses Facebook, whether it's for business or for personal use, young to old, because it's also tied to Instagram. The issue with Facebook is usually quality, and it has gotten more expensive over the years, but the issue with Facebook is typically quality. So if you are going to set up like leads page, or you're just going to set up something quick and dirty and you want to get introduced to running your own ads, I think that Facebook is good, especially because you could do image ads, so you don't have to do as much work on like creating really good video. So for those reasons it's good. The drawback is that typically the quality is not as good as something like Google and YouTube, but the price is also cheaper. So benefit, drawback, I'm probably going to put Facebook alongside Google and B. You just really need to know what you're doing because you're spending money on the platform to try to generate leads. So if you don't have it all dialed in, obviously you're going to have to test it at some point to actually get good at it, but definitely is something that's super scalable, but it also is something that you could burn a ton of money and get no return. Next is cold email. So if this was 3 or 4 years ago, I'd probably put cold email really high. The last few years, with stuff going into promotions tabs, with so many people doing cold email with stuff like Instantly, cold email's gotten super inundated. It still works, we still use it, but it's definitely not as good as it was before. Additionally, people say it's basically free. Yeah, if you just take someone's information and you just get a list and you send emails yourself, it's free. But if you're buying Instantly and then you're warming up domains, You're resyncing domains, it can become a hassle, but it is definitely very scalable. Because of that, I'm also going to put cold email in B. If you dial it in, it's definitely scalable and it really does work, and it's cheaper than the other mechanisms, but you have to have a good lead list. You have to scrub your emails so that your domains don't get burned, so you can't send emails as well. You have to scale the domains correctly with sending the right amount of emails so they don't see you as spam, and you really have to dial in the copy. So I'm going to put cold email in B. The next is DM outreach through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So there are now tools, there used to be, at least that I knew of, there are tools now to automate this. The answer rate is super high, much better than cold email, especially if you've built up your profile. I would say that this, what I've seen recently, is actually the best means to get people. Like I said, between Facebook, Instagram, and X or Twitter, basically every type of person is on one of these three platforms. So if you're posting content on there, as well as you have a credible profile and you use it for business, I think that this has the highest response rate and actually the highest probability to take someone from, having a conversation. Because if you send a cold email, yes, people email you back. At the same time, you're not really having the quick conversation that someone who checks X all the time or Facebook all the time, like they could just message you back very quickly. I would actually put this in the S tier. I think right now it's really the best way to get clients, especially if you're just starting out. But from big to small, you can have team members of yours create different Instagram and Facebook accounts and X accounts. The people, unlike cold email, can click into your page. They can see what you're about, especially if you post content, like on Instagram, if you post client results, X, same thing. So they automatically get that credibility that they know what you're talking about. It's also quick to turn over the messaging, unlike the ad platform, where you can constantly change the messaging. And you could do this for free if you want. If you're just starting out, it doesn't cost you anything, or you could scale it up by using some automation tools. Next is WhatsApp and text. This very much like are the cold DMs, super high response rate, especially if you're messaging in. The problem is a little bit more than if you message someone out of the blue on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, Instagram, and X, is that people get pissed if you're just texting them out of the blue. At the same time, you're gonna get a pretty high response rate. So the other issue comes with actually getting the leads to actually be able to text them. So you have to have a good source that will actually get you credible data. But if you do it correctly, I would say that's very high converting. You can get directly into something that your clients check all the time, which is everyone, they check their phone. So they're at least going to see your message. Unlike email, it can go into a bunch of different folders, and the response rate is much higher than email. It's even higher than the DMs, but a lot of the response is negative if you got their number from somewhere else than them actually opting in, which is usually the case. Cold calling, very similar here to text and WhatsApp. I would say that the benefit of cold calling is if you have any skills with cold calling, you're going to be able to sell them more than just the initial message. At the same time, it takes a lot more skill, and it's real time. So cold calling still works. We still use some cold calling. Our company is lucky enough to have some brand recognition, so that helps. I would say that cold calling is something that it takes a lot of time as well. It's tough to automate unless you have a dialer and you have SDRs who are booking for you. I'm going to put cold calling in B, but it still works just like cold email. And last here we have LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is one of those things just like cold email, which if it was a few years ago, I would say that it definitely works. This is similar to your Facebook, Instagram, X accounts. At the same time, so many people have LinkedIn automation, but you're gonna find higher quality candidates. You could use things like Dripify and Sales Navigator. A lot of people have become numb to it. It's definitely a tough platform to hack. We still get sales every month from LinkedIn. At the same time, we do a lot of LinkedIn outreach, and most of it just leads to people who have no interest in what you're trying to sell. They're just trying to also sell something in reciprocation. I'm going to put LinkedIn also in the B tier just for us, because like I said, you can automate it, which is great. It's cheap. You can do it for free if you want. It's just something that, again, just like email, people have kind of become numb to, because so many people message these, especially if they're, a higher end business owner. I think just like the ad account or the Facebook, Instagram, and X account, it really depends on your offer, like anything, but most importantly, your actual account, your profile, posting content with it, and having a lot of connections and being basically an authority in the space so that people respond to you. So if you like this, this is from my own personal experience. I also created a full playlist course that we actually use in our agency to optimize all of our clients' accounts, keep our churn down, scale our clients up. It's completely free if you want to check it out. It's under playlists under the account, and I'll see you guys in the next video.